Hello, my friend, we meet again. It's been a while, where should we begin? Right, I've had it. Carlton, what in the name of all things holy was that? Another chance to stand tall, another chance to really take it to our biggest rivals, and they rolled it over like a soggy wheat mix. Collingwood didn't just beat Carlton, they embarrassed them, they out-hunted them, they outsmarted them, and more pain-breakingly, they out-hearted them. If you're not fuming after that, and you're a Blues fan, check your pulse. If you're not excited about that, and you're a Pies fan, check your pulse. Let's get stuck in, because I've got a lot to get off my chest. If Carlton's season had a pulse before the game, it's flatline now. Another blockbuster clash on a primetime fixture and another weak-kneed fade-out. And another night where Blues fans were left asking, why do we even bother? From the opening bounce, it actually did look promising. There was a bit of zip, a little bit of heart, a couple of early goals. We got up and about, and then reality set in. That second half was a crime scene. One team came out with purpose and pride, and within 5 seconds, the hearts were broken. The other side looked like they were an Uber Eats order. It was delayed, and it looked like they were changing driver. Collingwood were ruthless. They smelt blood, and they didn't just go in for the kill. They killed and danced on the grave. That third quarter was pure domination for Pies, pure humiliation for the Blues. Clearance after clearance, pressure after pressure. They made Carlton look like school kids, and the scoreboard impact that Carlton were trying to get was outdone almost instantaneously, and the whole thing was put to bed probably about 20 minutes into the third. And here's the kicker. It wasn't even the best footy. Pies are a lot better than this. Misfiring shots, they still look levels above, even though they couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo at times. That's the difference between contenders and pretenders. Simple as that. When the game was on the line, they started to clutch goals. When Carlton didn't, the laconic effort from Motlop in front of goal summed it up. The shrug of the shoulders, turn your back, no one gets around you. The baggers, they wilted. No answers, no response. Too many blokes out there collecting air and KMs and not much else. And when the challenges come, they fold like a dodgy jet chair in a stiff breeze. 0-4, 2 goals in a half, and a vibe that screams, here we go again. I'd love to say it gets easier, but honestly, we've got West Coast next week. And if they don't dust themselves off and even get an iota of a result in that, you're at the stage of turning off the lights and leaving a note on the door. Collingwood are surging, Carlton are spluttering, and the game felt less like a rivalry and more like a reminder that although some clubs rise to the occasion, other clubs just literally mess about. And that is it. One honoured the past, one honoured the game, and the other one ultimately didn't. Who were the standout performers in this game? Well, Darcy Cameron, the big man, big game energy. You know, Ruckman's having a good day out when he makes one of the competition's form players look like he's running through molasses. Darcy Cameron didn't just beat TDK, he bullied him at times. Clean hands around the ground, small, great positioning, real grunt at the coalface, and a midfield that really operates to his strengths. Carlton looked like at times in that second half they'd never seen Tom de Koning before, where you look at how the Pies operate around Darcy Cameron. One of probably the best acquisitions I can remember, going from Brodie Grundy to Cameron, a defensive workhorse that suits your midfield. What an acquisition. His presence was felt nearly at every contest and around the ground, giving the midfield silver service, but also getting involved himself to stop Carlton finding any clearance, and particularly stoppage dominance. 22 disposals, 33 hits-outs, 8 clearances, set the tone physically, set the tone around the engine room, gave the Pies full control in that second half. And Lockie Schultz, the pressure forward turned assassin. This is exactly why the Pies chase Schultz hard, and he's come under a lot of cop, but wet, ugly conditions, he really made it look easy. Zipping through congestion, being a constant menace in Carlton's defensive half stoppages. He threw his weight around, he always got his hands in it, and it felt like he made Carlton's disposals look like a chore. His second goal was the soul crusher. You could hear everyone's energy leave the stadium from a blue part. He didn't just win the medal as well. He grabbed it with both hands and took it. Really was a very good performance. 18 touches, 5 tackles inside 52 goals, turning pressure into points, having impact all the time. He really did deliver this game and proved he's ready for the big moments. Scott Pendlebury, Footy's timeless wizard. Someone needs to check this bloke's DNA because I don't believe he's as old as he says he is. The veterans here at Pies, him and Sidebottom need a shout out, but Pendlebury, the man plays like the game slows down just for him. In the chaos, he's calm. In the contest, he's class. When Carlton were coughing up the footy at will in the second half, he was making it look like it was a training drill. 30 disposals, wet conditions, heaps of tackles, score involvements galore. His ability to just really control that midfield at his age is something special. The tempo, the schooling he did really shows how it's done. What a game from Pendles. And Darcy Moore, people take the piss out of this guy, but this guy, in my opinion, exudes leadership in his calmness. When Carlton went forward, Moore said no, time and time again. Not just the intercepts, but his ability to reset play, read the flight of the ball like a novel, but also understand when to go quickly and when to go back. The opposite in Carlton's sense of the on-field leadership, there is no control when they have the ball. Their ability to metronome a game is laughable. He never gave anyone clean looks. He made Kerno try and work up the ground, hardly touched the footy. It wasn't a flashy game. It was a captain's game. Unrelenting, smart, and built on footy IQ. The fact Carlton put Lewis Young on him and expected that to hinder him was almost banter. 8 intercepts, 7 1%ers, led the backline with authority and shut down Carlton's structure in that forward half. And the one player from Carlton that will get a nod is George Hewitt. He did everything but win this game, and Carlton fans will know it. He gave Nick Dacos one of the toughest halves of footy probably he's faced in a long time. He was in his grill from the start. This has been always a good battle between Dacos and Hewitt was just a man that had lots of pride and wasn't going to let him get away. Although Nick Dacos got clean towards the end of the game, I thought he reined him back in pretty well and kept the damage to a minimal. Going at a real high, 10 effective disposals out of 16 and a goal in the first half, blanketed the biggest weapon in AFL at the minute and gave Carlton a fighting chance, but no one could back him up. And he will go off the ground and go, what more can I do? Really, what more can I do? And let's go through them 5 things. The third quarter blitz from the Pies, that killer instinct. The game wasn't lost just in the final time. It was torched in the third. Collingwood came out of the sheds and insulted Carlton like your nan. From the first bounce, it was one-way traffic. Nick Dacos lit the fuse. Then De Goey and Schultz got in, and Carlton just barely touched it. And in the fourth quarter, we saw Carlton just kind of went through the motions. The game was on the line. You could still win it. It was only 3 goals. But that forward half domination was off the charts from the Pies. They had the footy camped in there. Carlton were sitting ducks, and we were only kept in it by some wayward kicking. Carlton's defensive 50 method here just became kick to contest, which just opened up the turnover game of Collingwood. 45 forward hard points to 23 from Carlton. 46% of inside 50s were shots versus 38 from them. This isn't just a good quarter. This was clinical execution. When the Pies smelt blood, they took the piss. And that 25-point gap at third quarter time could have been doubled if they kicked straight. That was really embarrassing for Blues to watch. Carlton's second half fade-outs, it's more than just fitness at this stage. It's almost the trademark. Whatever the Latin is for fade-out, get it on there. Start hot, finish flat. 4 games in a row, and this goes back longer. Do you know what I mean? This goes back over the 14.5 games. This isn't just a lack of legs in the game. It's a complete system mental collapse. The pressure disappears, the ball movement becomes panicked, and the decision-making just goes out the window. When you see in the first quarter the Blues are slowing it down, trying to get their hands on the ball, that just goes out of it. The early effort indicators tell the story. Pies laid 85 tackles, Carlton laid 69, a clear sign that the Pies go hunting in packs while the Blues are left reacting, and it's just not the defence. They only needed 15.7 disposals to generate a scoring shot. Carlton were at 24. That's not hesitation. That's overuse. That's a team unsure how to create anything other than just needless handballs. It's somewhere between conditioning, coaching, confidence and players. Something breaks, and unless Voss fixes it fast, this season's going nowhere quickly. Wet weather footy, Pies are built for it, Blues fumbled through it. For a team that literally plays wet weather football in the sunny conditions, Carlton's fundamentals are banter, where Pies are so reliable. They were first to the ball, simple entries, territory first mentality. Collingwood played like they wanted it. Schultz, McCreary, Myercheck thriving in the scrap, thriving in the contest. Second and third, fourth efforts going unrewarded at times, other than the scoreboard. Pendles and Sidebottom making it look organised in the chaos. Carlton overpossessed, fumbly, offered little defensive resistance, poor decision making, generating 36 points from turnover. Carlton scraped together 10 in this game. And that's not just from unforced errors. Carlton's ability to have perceived pressure affect them is absolutely chaotic at this minute. The big difference, 26 turnover differential to Pies, 16.6 metres gained per touch to 15. One side surged forward with intent, the other chipped away until the mistake came. Carlton's ability to have more ball when they're under pressure, to then just roost it to a turnover, is fascinating to watch. Genuinely fascinating to watch. And it's just amazing that no one on field or in the box sees it. This is a constant habit that the Blues have had since when you go back to the losses in 2023 before Vibe Check FC took over. The midfield breakdown, this one really stings because Carlton have invested so much money in that midfield, and with the TDK contract, it's going to be more. And when TDK is in such good form, on the big stage, Darcy Moore stepped up and nullified him. And he didn't just win the ruck, he dominated follow-up, crashed packs, was practically an extra midfielder. His 8 clearances just went along with his midfield. And what made it worse, when Cameron's doing this and leading TDK to the defensive side and not allowing him to break through, Pendlebury, Dacos, Josh Dacos, Sidebottom, all them players, it was clean, it was controlled, it was methodical. The way they put pressure on Carlton was almost laughable. 27 stoppage scores to 23, and all the goals from a defensive half stoppage as well is embarrassing from the Blues, because that is a structural breakdown. The way Carlton lose, particularly Sam Walsh, who's guilty for 3 of them goals from defensive half stoppage, his ability to lose a man isn't new. This is something that's been in Sam Walsh's game almost since he's drafted, and the fact that hasn't been addressed for a player that has lauded for his footy IQ is scary. The Pies are methodical, it's system-based. The Blues look lost at stoppage. The ruck rule, it was just a statement here. And 5, the forward half disconnect. No structure, no threat. The conditions didn't suit Kerner. Carlton's forward line, though, was a dog's breakfast. Kerner went up high to try and get involved, was barely effective. Fogarty barely sighted. Motlop, Ollie Hollands, when he's outshining you on the overlap, that is a problem. The delivery doesn't help. Long bombs to outnumbered contests, panic kicks to duress, zero cohesion. Frampton at times looking like a great stopper. He set up behind the ball, and it felt like Carlton's forwards were there to host a wine and cheese night. Organised, intercepting and cutting off everything. Kemp giving more space to their small defenders. McGovern panicking under pressure going backwards. Carlton have zero aerial threat, and the fact that they play so many toes in both sides is really, really more of a detriment, because our inside 50 to shot efficiency, 38% with all them big guys there, is laughable. Carlton's assault inside 50 is absolutely a damp squib, and it is absolutely gross to watch. When it takes you 23 touches to get 1 shot at goal versus 15, that is a laugh. That is a laugh. And then let's look at them big takeaways. Old dogs, new tricks. When Carlton's midfield looked like they were trying to decipher a Rubik's Cube blindfolded, Collingwood's old firm ran the show. It was a Sunday stroll. Sidebottom and Pendlebury weren't just good, composed, calculated, decisive. In the rain, under duress, they found clean hands, made smart decisions, and kept it going, kept them humming. They don't get rushed, they allow the game on their own terms, and more importantly, they lift when it matters. You can throw stats at it all you like, but the real story is between here. Pendles and Sidey read the game 2 steps ahead. Carlton's midfield was still trying to work out what time it was. Everyone was talking this is the oldest team to ever play the game, and Carlton's going with youth. Wisdom won, again, and it will always work. Collingwood's relentless work rate, and Blues knew it was coming. When you've got Braden Maynard at the start of the game saying, I've been at 0-3 and I bailed myself out, I know how tough it is. That's a pot shot at you here. Are you man enough? Josh Dacos, post-game, they knew they would drop away at half-time. Let that sink in. The Pies expected the Blues to fall in a heap, and we duly delivered. Right on cue. The difference in effort at half-time is contrast. It's stark. The Pies lift their intensity, pressure skyrockets, they dominate territory. Carlton, on the other hand, look leggy, mentally check out and confused. 85 tackles to 69 is a disgrace when you've had more of the ball. If your opponents are going to stop chasing, you chase harder. Simple law of averages. And that's exactly what the Pies did. Pride, passion, desire. Carlton's overuse and lost identity. And what are these honest conversations? The way the side moves the ball is painful to watch. The fact we're on at prime time and we're putting in games that are more duller than a Jake Paul fight. There's no conviction, no directness, no risk, no reward, endless handballs, endless kick into contests, kicks to nowhere, no one chasing it. They play like they want someone else to take responsibility, and no one does. Your post-game, it's even worse. Voss talking in riddles, being smarmy, having faux bravado that he cares. The players sound numb. The players look lost between clubs' PR and honesty. You expect a bit of defiance, but still comes that it'll get better. They look confusion, disconnected. It's mumbled cliches. It's blank stares, no urgency, no fire. They don't just need a team meeting. They need a full-blown truth session, because this is on all of them. We can blame the board for putting these muppets in place, but the players have got to take responsibility as well, and so does the coach. And then the hunger drop-off, a pattern that has become a problem that no one wants to address. It's okay, we just need to work the contest harder. Round 1, plus 25 points first half, negative 38 second. Round 2, plus 5 first half, negative 25 second. Round 3, plus 18, negative 26 second. Round 4, plus 4, negative 21. This isn't a blip, it's a full-blown identity crisis. Carlton play like a team that doesn't want it enough, and they don't. After the break, it's belief, trust, fitness, mindset, whatever you want to call it, it's gone AWOL. It's Jimmy Hoffa. And they're just getting outplayed, they're getting outworked, outmuscled. That's what stings the most. Wearing the jumper should mean something. And if it doesn't mean something, you should mean something to yourself. This side is losing touch with reality mighty fast. And the shut down the corridor, watch Carlton claps. Collingwood are one of the more intelligent sides, so it's not rocket science. They're going to work it out. Close the corridor, Carlton crumble. When they can't slice through the middle with overlap run and numbers, they go wide, slow, long. It's worse. They freeze. It becomes don't know how the problem solves. They look at each other. The first half 2 goals from kicking just shows it all. Once the Pies worked it out, shut the corridor, pushed them up high, forced mistakes, Carlton have no answer apart from we'll cough it up. We can't play high-stakes footy. They don't commit to it. And when they should do, plan B has come up with a better plan A. And you know what? You want patterns. Here's one. Carlton build little hope. The fans dare to believe, and then it comes crashing down again and again and again. We've sat through rebuilds, resets, rebrands, every buzzword you can imagine. And nothing bloody changes. We're 4 weeks into 25 and the group looks more disconnected. 2024 was not an outlier. It was literally a pattern. It's more confused, tactically inept than it's ever been before. And Michael Voss isn't out of his depth. He is drowning in a pool of mediocrity. The side is rudderless tactically. There is no structure. No adaptability, no plan B. When the pressure hits, they look like a bunch of school kids looking for the teacher to explain. There's no thought process. There is no adaptability or exuberance in the playing group. What is going wrong? You know what? It's not just Voss. It's the culture that's festered at this club for a year. Let's walk it back, shall we? First it was Brendan Bolton, green shoots. We're learning, they said. The players loved him, Uncle Brendan. Then he got the flick. There came Teague. They all said get on the Teague train. Cripps was well behind him. Toot toot. They said they backed him in. They went to the ball. They wanted him. He was the man. They turned on him the second it got tough. And then Voss. He wasn't even the board's first choice. But hey, he won some medals. 2023 was a fluke. It was Vibe FC. Instead of building on it, they've stagnated. No evolution, no progression. 2024 was the same pattern. Good start, poor end. It's okay, we're coming. Same old holes, same old failures. And now suddenly people will go to that shortcut option. Trade this player in. Recruit this guy. Simpson's the man. Longmuir's the man. Another great white hope. All under the illusion that this list is good. And it's not the list. It is. Because I've seen a lot of so-called talent come into this club and become a specialist in failure. Players that flatter to deceive. These players go missing when it counts. That we're not lacking cattle, we're lacking standards. These players aren't bad players. I've seen them all come through the draft. Ollie Hollands is going to cop it because he isn't a defender. He's not defensive-sided. You saw what he can do running in space. He kicked 2 goals. They were very good goals. That is what he did in his draft. But since he's come to here, remove his passion, remove his identity. You play the way we do, and the way that we play is stagnant, it's archaic. It's okay, though, because Brian Cook will say some witty words. The accountability, the lacking of standards, the direction, and now we're reaching for magic fixes. I can see it happening. The fans are getting desperate because people refuse to look in the mirror and admit it. The fish rots from the head. Everyone is going to go out there now and do soppy little videos and do soppy little podcasts like they did last week, crying for sound bites because it's the care factor is themselves. The care factor isn't the club. And that's where you can never question me. The care factor has always been this. And let's talk about the brains trust, shall we? Since the rebuild started, how many key decision makers have been re-employed after leaving here? None. Why? Because they're never fit for purpose. They go back to being assistant coaches or they fade away into obscurity because they helped build this mess and now we're stuck in it. Brad Lloyd, he's survived more reviews than the dodgy kebab shop. Teflon coated, unaccountable, apparently bulletproof. The board couldn't organise a shopping list, let alone steer a football club out of the crisis. And Brian Cook, the man everyone said was the great white hope, can't stop saying we'll just keep looking at the plan and coming up with the answers. But the off-field is good, and that's what he's known for, off-field. And he doesn't sack people because he believes stability is success, and that is such an archaic metric. Things will get better with time. If you've made the shit appointments, you can't keep these fools in the job. Well, guess what? The plan is dead. And I don't even think there is a plan. I think if you went down to that club with the rights to see it, it would be floating face down, bloated and burst, and everyone at the club is just pretending it's okay. They're having a nap. You talk about a proud history. Stop weaponising it as a distraction. History doesn't mean anything when you're spitting on it with what you're serving today. This isn't just one loss to Collingwood. This is years of mismanagement, false storms, empty promises, complete inability to face hard truths. And until someone at the club grows a spine, stares into the abyss, says, I'm not fit for purpose, and calls it for what it is, this cycle will continue spinning with probably new hope being appointed, who is the same poison we've always seen. You want to make Carlton great again, start admitting we've fallen, then maybe we can climb back up again. But right now, we're a meme in navy blue, and I'm pretending to do otherwise. I'm PommyInOz, and I don't want apologies. I want action. It's what I want. If you're still watching, fair play to you. You're clearly as broken as I am, or you're enjoying it like Pies fans. But here's the truth. I love this club. I truly bleed navy blue, and that should mean more to you than an Australian saying it. I was brought up in a whole different world, a different mindset, and you see it quite often. That's why it hurts so much, because like my pop used to say to me when he adopted me, any idiot can be a dad and a mum's son, but I chose you. That should mean some more, and I agree with him. I chose this club, so it hurts a lot more, and it should have more lineage. Love without honesty is delusional, and that's all it is, and the club has been lying to itself and us for too long. On the flip side, you look at Collingwood, that's how you do it. That's how you honour your history in today's world and embrace the modern game. They took a major reset, they rebuilt it, they won a flag, and they haven't lost their beautiful identity as much as you can hate them as a Carlton fraternity. They play with pride, they play with purpose, they play with hunger, they play with pride, power, and they play with a meaning that's greater than themselves, that only furthers them. It doesn't hinder them. Pains me to say this, but they are the benchmark for us at this minute. They are our daddies. And right now, if Carlton want to come out of the shadow of Big Brother, they've got to start being honest and start honouring what they do. If you're a Collingwood fan, enjoy it. You've built something quite special. And as a generic YouTuber as well, it's a credit to watch you. I really do enjoy. Your club is what big clubs should aspire to be. Honest, hard, ruthless calculations with an ability to be yourself in what is a proud fraternity, because them 16 flags we won and they won were built by individuals playing together in a free-flowing manner. And for us, maybe, if Eagles don't finish the job and send us back to the Stone Age, who knows? If you found some therapy in this right, smash that like button, hit the subscribe. Let me know that I'm not just talking to an echo chamber. What's the solution? Let me know. Because this club's running out of time, and I think we're all running out of patience. I've been PommyInOz. Like I say, I don't want apologies, I want action. Look after yourselves. Remember, footy's meant to be fun, and it's not for us right now. Peace, love, and light. Bye, man.